it's Hannah, and today I'm going to be trying acrylic markers for the very first time ever. I'm going to be using this set of acrylic markers that I received from Arrtx. So let's go! So the packaging is adorable, and the markers are bright and lovely. There's more neutral and more sort of vibrant colors. And you can tell even the individual marker packaging is quite cute. So first, I'm planning on doing a swatch sheet because I kind of want to test to see how it feels to use them. So let's see. So those were the neutral, more like subdued colors, and now we're moving on to the more bright colors. And I'm really amazed by how sort of opaque they are. I feel like when I tested out this white on top of the blue, I felt like it came out really well. Same thing with the yellow on top of this green. And I decided to try a dark color on top of a light color too. So that's it for my swatch sheet. So I sketched these little ladies from a magazine where they are wearing hakama, which is a traditional Japanese dress. So I'm going to color one of the girls. Basically, I wanted to do these as practice before doing something bigger and more in depth. They're small, I can finish it quickly, and I can maybe get a little bit more used to using them. So that was sort of my idea. So let's watch as I try to make this little hakama girl. So I used this pink on top of this dark blue, and again, I'm really amazed by how opaque it came out for the pattern. And of course, the dark red came out well, but for highlights, I used orange, and it also came out really nicely, I thought. So there she is. I was pretty happy with how she came out already, but I decided to also draw a background just to see how it looked and to try out more colors. So I went with this neutral gray, which I really like. It's kind of a coolish gray actually, and I think suited well with the rest of the color palette. And for fun, I kept some more patterns that I incorporated from the magazine. So I actually made all three of these, but I decided not to show them because I think it would take too long. Instead, I want to show you a full sketchbook sheet where I'm going to do a little bit more detail on just one girl in particular. So I'm using this girl, and we're going to color her skin, and I'm going to use this kind of pink peachy color. And I can see that you can sort of see through the color. It's not too opaque. So I'm just going to go over my sketch because I can still see the general outline, which I really like actually. It's similar to when I use gouache. And again, I wasn't sure how the blending would work, so it was a bit of an experiment, but the markers, once I tried it a couple times, blended very nicely to try to get like some warmth in her cheeks and her shadows. I decided to veer off the color palette for her hakama, and I went with this blue, which was extremely satisfying to paint, or to draw rather. And I love how this color looks, and I think it complements the pinks very well. Now I'm going in with her hair. We're just going black. I was a little scared at first, but I think it ultimately, I think, works out. But in the beginning, I was really unsure about going so dark. Now I'm going in for some whites for her eyes and highlights. I really feel like highlights kind of add a real shininess and depth to whatever I make. And this white is so opaque on top of the colors, it's not transparent at all. So I was really happy with that. Now I'm doing her hair, and again, it was sort of like doing the blue hakama, extremely satisfying. I loved the feeling of this felt tip for this marker. I feel like it feels so much like a brush, but it also has sort of the stability of a marker. It doesn't leak or do things that you don't expect. So it was very satisfying to do these strokes. Now, the hair in the model is like this. It's not really all her hair. It's these rings that are inside it and then fake hair. And I know it looks kind of strange maybe, but I thought it was so cool. It sort of reminded me of like kind of a punk rock Usagi from Sailor Moon. So I definitely wanted to draw that girl. Now I'm doing the bottom half of the hakama, basically like the pants or skirt. I'm sticking in the blue palette or in the cool palette because I felt like the pink and blue already was pretty strong, so I didn't want to add too many colors. So even this bright orange is showing up so well against this blue. I, again, am surprised by how good this looks and how much more quickly I can work as compared to using real paint. So we're doing some final highlights on her hair to give it a little more depth, and you can see what it like the shape a little bit more. I'm just adding a little bit of shadow to her lips. I think it really adds some depth. I decided to ultimately do a yellow background. I was again a little nervous because I was pretty happy with how she came out, but you know, I wanted to keep experimenting, and I think the yellow looks very nice with the blue and the pink. And again, I also wanted to add a little bit of a pattern, but I'm sticking within the yellow so it's not overwhelming. And I think she's finally done. And then here are my 3 little girls alongside her. So we finished using the markers from Arrtx today, and I loved them. I thought they were so great. I've never used acrylic markers before, so I was really nervous that I would do a terrible job, but honestly they exceeded my expectations. The fine tip, do you want to go? Do you need to go? The fine tip was able to do a lot more detail than I would have expected, so I'm super psyched about trying them out on some sketchbooks and some paper that I have that is not very good with things that have a lot of wet medium in it, like paint or ink. So overall, definitely very happy with it.